Hi, greetings gamers. My name is Jerod Leupold, and I made a game. It's called Goblyn Market, and we're going to try to do a live playthrough to see if you guys like it as well. So I'll give you all the bases you need to how to play the game, give you a little bit of a feeling for it. It's kind of based in an alternate history Victorian era, and the players are courtesans of the Empress of Night, and they're going to be given tasks to go into this Victorian town as her courtesan goblins to do all sorts of misdeeds to keep the Goblin Market safe from the mortals who, are all kind of a little too rambunctious about getting rid of goblins. So my name is Jerod. I'll be the escort. I'll be running the adventure. And to my left is our first player.
I'm Liz. I will be playing Fig. And picture Fig as trying to look like she knows how to fit in, but not doing it very well. So, vest. It's kind of been dinged it up a little bit. Trousers that are way too long. Very large cloak. That kind of thing.
And are you, what aspect are you?
Oh, I am the Badger. So, lots of fighting is what she likes. But we'll see if that happens or not.
Great.
I'm Eric. I'll be playing Crowley. I am a goat trickster. Crowley has obviously a big sort of pointy goatee, sort of human features, big bushy sideburns and the hair that kind of goes up on the tips, right? Underneath a top hat where his horns are sort of hidden up through there. Full tuxedo top, no pants.
Perfect.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I'll be playing Smythe, who is a Snail Prankster. Smythe is dressed all in black, kind of an ill-fitting suit. He's kind of a sallow, pale, slightly moist-looking person. Imagine, if you will, if morticians had an accountant, that's what he would look like.
Thank you.
I'm Rachel, and I will be playing a Mublemum, but she goes by Mabel. I am a frog-like creature, so I have large eyes and a slightly greenish tint to my skin, but most of the rest is hidden under baggy clothes. I have pants that are really baggy and kind of look like a dress, but they are pants that cover my webbed toes, and then I also have a muff to hide my hands in when I need to, and that kind of lets me blend in among the mortal folk.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. So we got our characters. We're set. We made our characters last night. We're going to do the first run through. This is the adventure called The Devil in Old Smoke. It is an adventure that comes with the book when you get it. And you guys ready?
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right. It is spring, 1837. Mary Stevenson reports to the local Night's Watch of a man who assaulted her with kisses to the face and bosom during her nightly stroll in the Bohemian district. Not a normal occurrence by any means, but made more peculiar by collaborating witnesses. The testimonies all differ, from Miss Stevenson stating the man wore wicked claws, to bystanders swearing it was a woman clasped in an oilskin cloak. Two details, however, remain consistent, and if it is to be believed would alter the consideration of the accused being human. Firstly, it had a fiendish bearing. Secondly, to make good its escape, it leapt from rooftop to rooftop over 9 meters apace, which led to the astonishing, if somewhat irresponsible headline, "The Devil Attacks Maiden in Old Smoke." A headline bold enough to cause neighbors to keep shuttered doors and parents to hold their children tighter at night. Expert deerstalkers and mercenaries alike flocked to the metropolis of Laudanum, the city that we're going to be adventuring in today, eager for fame. None are more renowned than Inspector J.A. Burns. A mind like a steel trap and machinations sharper than his razor wit. This isn't his first case bordering on the supernatural. Burns and his steadfast companion, Dr. Jonathan Polly Crackers, represent a very real threat to the Goblin Market should they succeed in their inquiry. In the Goblin Market, the suspect is believed to be a newly formed springjack that has already been dealt with expediently by the fairy court. However, it is up to the courtesans to sink the investigation by Burns and all those seeking answers before it can even begin. you guys have any questions before we begin the attraction? All right. So at this point, this is the very first part of the game that's beginning, called the attraction. Only happens once at the very beginning. It's where the goblins are brought forward to the court to be presented with their debts. And also, just going to let people know, this is a accent mocking free zone. I can't do an accent for the life of me. I don't even pretend to, so you have to bear with us all here, I think. A rising zenith in a broken wild heart threatens to reveal the market, prophesies the high seer. Their top hat is riddled with chicken bones and rattles whenever they nod. They sit on a tree stump draped by tuxedo tails. Silver moonlight pools in the glade opening. The Goblin King stands in silence. His golden orbs pass over each of the courtesans. His face is a patchwork of scars and wrinkles, made more severe by the pale illumination. The Fey Queen throne sits in the middle of the clearing, stark white and empty, its shadow looming large over the clandestine gathering. The bones continue to clatter as the High Seer looks at each of you. Cover her tracks, and you will be rewarded. The debts in front of you. The debt that you all have to take on from the Empress of Night is called Awaken the Dragon. Tempt Inspector Burns into entering a den of iniquity. The other three. Called to the stage, cut off the head in 2 birds. The called to the stage, ensure Jonathan Cracker's 1-act play is produced. That's from the Fairy Queen. If you take that, you'll get 2 Bane. Cut off the head. The Goblin King, if you take that, you'll get 2 Boon. Open the Den of Iniquities. And then 2 Birds, which is a High Seer debt. So you'll get 2 secrets if you take it. Get rid of the Englishman and the Italian. Alright, it's up to you guys who gets what. Squabble away if you want, or be peaceful about it. It's totally up to you, guys.
I would like to do the call to the stage if possible.
Which one was that again?
Make sure the play gets produced. Was it Jamie's play?
Jonathan Crackers.
It was Crackers' play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks like no one's disagreeing with that. Yeah, gain 2 Boon. Or sorry, 2 Bane. 2 Bane, because for the Queen. It is going to be a Guile -1 check.
Oof. Alright.
Yep. And in the just side note here, real quick, just in the big picture of things, scene check at a -1 isn't that big of a deal. Like, it's not easy, but this is the kind of the beginner adventures, kind of beginner friendly. So it'll be a little bit easier for you guys if you do other things to make it easier, I guess is the point. So, all right, perfect. You've got called to the stage. We've got the cut off the head and 2 birds left.
I'll do the open Den of Iniquities. Was that the 2 bird?
That was 2 birds.
Okay, perfect.
Anyone?
I would take. I don't remember the name of it. What's the other ones?
Cut off the head.
Get rid of the Englishman and.
Well, that's the.
Oh, that's that one.
That's the 2 birds you're talking about.
Oh,
okay.
no.
Oh, no,
that's
sorry,
yeah.
no. Cut off the head. You're right. Yeah. So that's open the Den of Iniquities. That's the Goblin King. So that's going to be a muscle -1. And you get 2 Boon. And then you want 2 birds, which is the High Seer one. So you get 2 secrets. And that's get rid of the Englishman and the Italian.
Mm-hmm. And is there a -2?
-1 smarts.
Smarts. It's going to go real well.
Yeah. So the Awaken the Dragon, the Empress of the Night debt, that is any attribute. So there's 3 attributes. There is smarts, muscle, and guile. And that's it. So this is, you can use any one of the 3. And it is to tempt J.A. Burns versus his abstinence score. which is a -3. Yeah. His is going to be tough.
Yeah.
This is the second adventure of the other one that's in the book, and it's a little bit tougher based off of kind of things that happened in the first adventure. All right, all the debts are assigned. And any questions for this part? Okay. You are ushered from the meeting that was out in the forest. You're back into the Goblin Market. So this is our first Goblin Market scene before we go into the city. You see the giant, grotesque Toodlepip in the middle of it. The large arms lining up at the 0 hour to start the affair. What would you like to do? You've got all your choices right here on your sheet. You get 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 5 choices. Get a bane, get a boon, get a secret, get money, or heal up are really your choices. There's other things involved with that too, but that's the brief thing. Who wants to go? And it doesn't matter. Just shout out what you want to do and start rolling.
I would like to do the Wheedle the Fates.
Okay. Wheedle the Fates. You want to pay the 2 crowns or make a check?
Let's make a check.
Sure. All right.
Why
It's a
not?
guile check. What's your guile?
3.
All right. So you throw 3 dice.
So I got a 2. So I succeeded.
Yes. Yeah, you got the succession. Let's see. We were wheedling the fates,
Yes,
right?
so I can just choose a boon or a bane,
Yep.
correct?
You got a fortune, which is either a boon or a bane. You got it.
I'm going to take a boon.
I'm also going to wheedle the fates.
Okay. You're going to pay the 2 crimson
Do a
crowns?
check,
or do a
please.
check. So it's going to be guile. What's your guile?
My guile is 4.
4. My goodness. Very guiley around here.
I got 1.
Ooh. Okay. Perfect. Hey, you get your fortune, so you get to choose a boon or a bane.
Great.
You also wheedle the fates. That is the fairies. Here you go. Enjoy. That's yours.
Burden.
Finally, someone else
Okay.
gets a burden.
All right, I will go ahead and do Beseech the Seers to try to get a secret.
Okay. You want to do pay 2 or do a
I'll go
smarts?
ahead and do the smarts check.
What's your smarts?
My smarts is 3.
Okay.
Got a 2.
Nailed it. Yep. There you go. You got a secret.
I'm going to also beseech the seers.
Okay.
I am also going to roll.
Okay. What's your smarts?
4.
Okay.
But I only got 1.
You only got 1? Okay. Beseech the seers. That is the witches.
And I get a secret, right?
Yep, and you get a secret. All right, so the burdens that we're handing out, this is some action that they have to do in the next city scene, and if they don't do it, if they try and go back and, like, in your case, talk to the fairies again to get more luck, basically, to power the magic, it's going to be harder to do, and they may just... And the harder it gets, the worse and worse it gets for you to try it, so untenable after all. But...
And we need to do this before the next market?
Yes, before the next Goblin Market, you need to finish that. So what the deal is that is a mystical contract, right? Like, so you try to outsmart them or out-trick them to get something for free, and they're like, yeah, not a problem. We'll give you the thing, but you got to do this while you're out there for us. Okay. All right, so there we go. That is the market scene. Now, that's the Goblin Market scene. Let's do the city scene. So this is the main thing about the adventure right here. All right, so in order, how this works, we're now in the city phase. It's got it all marked out on the sheets for everyone. Let's start off. Who wants to be the ringleader? Now, it's always the opening case. All the stuff is on the city here. So you have a little bit more of a lead than you would normally. This is a beginning adventure. So you might not want to go directly to the town square, or maybe you do. Every town's got a town square that they can find out more stuff about the city. Does anyone wish to volunteer to be the ringleader, or object to someone just being the ringleader?
I think that Mabel should be the ringleader, and you can take us to the town square, since you don't have a specific thing, right?
It's true.
Yes, unvetted. Good old unvetted Mabel.
You have no problem. You can help us get a little information.
Yeah.
I will not object to that.
Okay. The hat does not come with the game. That's just our thing to denote who is the ringleader. So the ringleader gets a certain power here, and we're going to go down the list here. First, what debt or scene are we going to try and work towards or complete for this scene coming up?
I think for the moment, It is just the top general everybody one of trying to tempt Inspector Burns. So we're trying to learn where the Den of Iniquity is and how it can be opened.
Okay. Now, you already know where the Den of Iniquity is.
Good point.
It's everywhere. Okay. It is
Right.
a landmark to the city, so you can find them anywhere. So if you want to go to any location and then say, we're going to go check in on one of the Den of Iniquities there, that's fine.
Okay, that's, yes.
Okay, so what location would you like to go to?
I would like to go to the
then?
town square.
Town square. Okay.
We are going to check in on that Den of Iniquities and, just gather information.
Okay, go to there. The goal of the scene is to get information. What kind of
Yeah.
information exactly?
I think we want to get information on why the Den of Iniquity is closed.
Okay.
And
Okay.
who is just one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. These are to be very simple, straightforward. Here's what you do. Now, other things are going to happen in the scene. Like we know this already. We've done this a couple times. That chaos tends to happen. Okay, and then the death scene. Perfect. Okay, so now we know exactly what we're going to do in the scene. Now we're going to address the scene real quick, starting to the person to the left.
Oh, dear.
In the town square, let me first read you the description of the town square. Pretty much the same in every town. There's very few differences. Okay. The normal hustle and bustle of daylight activities slows only partially as the lamplighters coax flame from the gaslights. Nighttime brings out entertainers, messengers, and the misspent youth. The cobblestone square is crowded by two-story living quarters rented one on top of each other. Almost any recent news can be heard here. And I do want to tell you about this. Well, I'll tell you about the city once we get there. Okay, so that's the description. What else do you want there to be there?
Specifically, like small groups of people definitely sharing the gossip, like specifically what's going on.
Yeah, you're in town
With
square. That's
everything
what it's
right now.
for.
Yeah.
Any people in particular?
Any foreigners in town?
I mean, sure. I mean, this is one of the largest cities, and we'll get to the description
Okay.
here. So, immigrants came by the thousands and thousands to build up these huge population of cities. So, pick any nationality you want. I mean, Irish,
Italians?
French, Italian, sure. Okay.
This is like the main location for the telegraph company,
Sure.
like where the telegrams come in, and so there's a lot of people like wanting to check up on news that's coming in, and probably news about some nefarious business,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, like when a ship is due to arrive, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, 100%. Telegraphs were definitely a thing in the Victorian era. Not the main mode of communication, but it definitely worked between cities. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, conveniently located near the telegram. I just kind of want a muckraker tabloid selling newspaper,
Okay.
just dealing in all the various drama and intrigue of the city.
Okay, I do like that it's not a newspaper place. It's like one of the tabloids. It's one of the worst ones.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
perfect.
Just trashy broadsheets.
Yes, 100%. These existed.
Among all the people that there are, unfortunately, there are also some homeless people, and
Oh yeah, there was tons of homeless people.
and in particular, there's kind of like a little corner where like the authorities kind of let people make a little camp. Like there's kind of a little like village of unhoused people over in that.
Do we want then the local authority to be there as well? The Night's Watch? No,
There's two guys that are just like patrolling around. this
Okay,
area.
so we're going to put two Night's Watch here. Night's Watch were the very generic term for the police back in the day. And these were usually just volunteers. Okay? If something very serious happened, they would then go on to get actual people that were trained to handle it. The Night's Watch did exist. It was mostly a volunteer. A neighborhood watch sort of thing. Okay, perfect. So we've dressed the scene. We'll go over these, and then I'm going to describe the city, then we're going to hit the timer. Each city scene is timed. If they don't finish or get what they need to do, then we'll move forward. The Toodle Pip hits 13. Game is over, and these guys can turn to stone. I mean, if that's a big deal to you guys or not. All right, here we go. The city of Laudanum is the cultural industrial center of the era. The city produces so much pollution, it garnered the nickname Old Smoke. Immigrants and farmers flood the factories hungry for labor. Innovation and starvation provide experiences as vast and varied as its inhabitants. There is very little that cannot be found in Laudanum besides peace and quiet. It's noisy even at night. So, let us begin the timer. Now, go.
Okay, I want to kind of mingle amongst people and walk as I'm walking around, specifically information about the inspector. If there's any gossip about like how investigation is going so far, that kind of thing.
Okay. You just want to use the town square action on there? Okay. Now you're out amongst the people. You're going to walk amongst them. There'll be any sort of skill check. You're just trying to eavesdrop?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll do a muscle check because you're just trying to sneak around unseen, kind of at the edges of that. Now this is specifically an action that's in the town square that she can take. Go ahead.
Roll my 4 muscle.
Yeah, not a problem. You managed to, using your thick badger frame to hide behind like a lamppost or something very sneakily. And you said you were trying to figure out
basically where the point of the investigation is.
Okay. Yes. So you find out that Inspector J.A. Burns and Jonathan Crackers just recently got to town. So it is still very early. They've only been here about a week, and they're just starting their investigation right now. They don't have any leads per se, but you know that his reputation precedes him. And amongst the Goblin Market, the Betwixt, you guys have heard of this guy. He has trapped a fairy before. Like, he is aware that there's something else out there, so he could expose the Goblin Market.
Okay.
All right, Crowley?
Dr. Polly Crackers potentially even in this town square tonight, yes?
He is not, but you can do a Kismet encounter and actually summon them into the scene by spending a boon if you wish to.
I do not wish to.
Okay.
I don't have any boons. I don't want to make anybody spending right now.
You want to ask someone else to spend it?
Nah, not yet.
Okay.
Instead, as I'm sneaking around the telegraph office, a telegram for Dr. Crackers shows up, and I want to be able to intercept it, read its news, and potentially change it before it gets to him.
Okay. So the way we've set up this scene is that it's crowded. This is a poppin' city park. We've got a bunch of homeless. We've got some working middle-class Italians, just got off the night shift. We've got a telegraph booth. We've got a newspaper. Open or not open?
Open.
An open newspaper. Because this is very technical, I'm going to say there's so much happening that I'm going to do a check. I rarely do it. Let's do a muscle check.
Okay.
What's your muscle?
2.
Ooh. Okay.
1.
Okay, great. Universal check. So you succeed. So you managed... Yes, there is there. You managed to pocket a telegraph to Dr. Crackers. You also suffer a curse because it was a blunder. You can either take a damage or spend a bane to avoid the curse.
I'll spend a bane.
Okay. Yes, getting ready for my curse cards here.
Yeah, I know, you were.
Okay, yes, you have it.
Okay.
All right, I'd like to make my way over to the tabloid and start just browsing through their broadsheets and kind of strike up a conversation with the proprietor. And I'm just trying to figure out if there's any, like, rumored weaknesses or failings of the inspector.
Okay. Very specific. Let's see now. Yeah, I think that's fine.
I do have a
he is very well known.
secret that, if need be, I could spend that to acquire the information.
Here's how we'll do it, is I'm going to tell you this, and if you want to spend a secret to find something else out, you can.
Perfect.
Okay? Hey. What's that about? And he's just, like, covered in ink as he's just putting on the printing. Move it over. You one of the new workers or something?
Yeah, just came to town for work. Just browsing your stand, seeing that the inspector's coming to town. That's big news.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, if you can keep himself concentrated on the task at hand, that'll be quite some help. He's got a little bit of a problem, but we won't have any problem with that here. Anyway, thankfully, other things are happening that he won't. He probably won't be able to go into any opium dens. They're all closed now anyway, so he'll be safe that way.
Likes to take a bit of the nip to take off the edge, does he?
Oh, he's famous for it. Would you like to spend a secret?
Yes.
But I can't print this, but from what I heard from someone who heard it from someone who heard it from someone, they hear him talking to himself in different voices sometimes. As if he's two people?
Gotten a little too close to his subject matter, has he?
Oh, possibly. I don't know. And
I also would like to approach the tabloid seller.
and you have a friend here.
Yes, I am hoping that... It could be after. I am envisioning like a newspaper seller that also has like that display of like sweets down below.
Sure.
And I just want I'm looking for something like some gumdrops, lemon drops, something along that
Oh yeah,
line.
absolutely.
Sure. How much will that cost me to buy a couple of bags of lemon drops?
You don't have any actual gold crowns.
Right.
Unless you steal them from someone else.
Understood. Well, while he's talking, I would like, because I am a thief, I would like to try to just kind of like swipe a bag from below and
Okay. And
try not to be noticed.
What are you going to use the candy for? Is there a meaningful reason for doing this?
Yes, I'm going to... Yes, do you want me to go into detail about what my intention is?
Yes.
Okay. My intention is to use it to talk to some of the homeless people to learn more about the den, but also like kind of start the idea that I might be able to sell some things that are a little extra special.
Okay. Yes.
Even while the dens are closed, like I have some special things that I can give you.
Okay. I am not going to require a check for this. Okay. Instead, I'm going to use that to help influence a later check. Mm-hmm. So, not a problem. You manage to side up. Whoop. Yoink some candies from the helpless news. Boy.
And then I'm going to go try to become a dealer of something.
Of sugary confections. All right. Perfect.
I'm going to continue my walk around, specifically aiming towards that group of Italian immigrants.
Okay.
And can I use a secret to figure out if there's someone who kind of has prominence in that community that would be known as like the Italian? If there's anybody that's sort of like that.
Okay.
That leader.
Sure. I totally get what you're trying to do. Yeah, you can dispense a secret if you want to get the information.
Oh, yeah.
Or do you want to do role playing and maybe get some information?
Nah, let's just spend the secret.
Okay. All right. So spend the secret, and this is exactly what they're for, right? To get information about stuff you just know about, and you're asking specifically about the Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yes, there is a famous person named Butch Linan Iconi. He is a mercenary for hire. Recently, one half of a fairy hunting duo. Butch stands just over 1 meter tall and almost as wide as he is tall. He sports a flaming red mustache paired with a monocle. He favors a hand axe, is unironically nicknamed Le Nain by those who served with him in the French army.
Okay.
Yeah, he, and since you spent a secret on it, he is known for his molten hot temper.
Yes, let's go.
All right, Crowley.
Check out this telegram. What does it say?
Okay. It is... Yeah, there's no reason I can't do this. Dearest Dr. Crackers, while I appreciate your inquiry into the Royal Theatre, we are not taking any more submissions for playwrights. You will have to do on your own. Signed, let's go Miss Helena, who is a famous actress at the time from another Metropolis.
Great. I want to change the telegram so it does, in fact, say we do accept your submission for your play. And in the process, get rid of this.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
To accurately forge it, it is going to be a smarts check.
You bet.
Let's go.
You got 4 smarts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a good job. Got it?
Got
Right,
3.
nailed it. So you managed to reforge it, letting poor Dr. Crackers know that he has now been accepted wrongfully into the Royal... I need to write this down. That's going to change some things into the Royal Theatre. Good for you, Dr. Crackers.
I'm very proud of him.
All right. Well, while I'm still at the newsy stand, I just kind of want to browse through and see if there's any information on why the Dens of Iniquity have been closed. Is there like a temperance movement in town? What caused them all to be shut down?
So the den, remember, so the den, it's a landmark, so it's connected to every part of the
Everything.
location. You just want to wander over.
Sure, yeah.
And I will tell you exactly
Perfect.
what's going on. You hear a very loud voice as you get closer to the den of a woman standing on a soapbox with a large crowd surrounding her as she is exalting the sin of these dens. And to keep our morality safe in the city, we need to keep these dens closed. And that's why they're closed.
And that's why they're closed. Okay.
Yes, but basically by popular demand, the woman, if you ask around, that is Jamie Rolinda.
Okay. Crowley, do you have a bane you'd be willing to trade me for a boon?
And it's yours. Mabel.
So I do have something I want to do, but I also know I had said we're trying to learn how the den's closed. So technically, would that have been the scene ending?
There is a further, who,
Okay,
but there's one more thing you should get.
understood. So I am going to approach the little village of homeless people, and I would like to see if there's somebody that seems to be kind of helping people be organized.
Okay, and remember, you tell me.
Yes. So yes,
Okay.
I am looking for that person.
Yep.
And that person is there.
Yep, yes, exactly right.
And I
Definitely not named Cratchit.
I'm going to start by just approaching and saying, "Well, hello, ma'am. I am wanting to speak with you a little bit about what is occurring with the Den of Iniquity. I have some..." Sorry, I didn't think through this as well as I
No.
thought I had.
That's
I thought I
fine.
had thought through this completely.
Yeah, take your time. This game goes fast.
I'm also assuming this person is one of the people living there. So it's not like there's this organizer that is
Okay,
outside helping. And I'm just like, would you like a little sweet? I would love to have a conversation with you.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'll take a sweet.
Yeah, and I give it to her, and I am just curious how we've reached the point where the den is closed and this village exists. Yeah, I'm just trying to learn more about the why.
Okay.
I'm also wondering if I might have your permission. Did you enjoy that sweet?
Oh, yes, quite so.
Well, I have to tell you, it's actually really good for making you stay warm on these cold nights. And I would love your permission to go share this with more people around here.
I mean, we could always use more help around here, certainly. So at this point, you're trying to get information. So
Yes.
all right. So this is going to be you're calling the scene right here. Okay.
Yes.
So anyone who didn't get anything else done,
Well,
zip.
okay. In the process, I'm also trying to be like, well, that was your one.
Well, what?
Would you give me a secret in exchange for another? But I didn't say that, so that's fine. That's on me.
Are you calling it, or you don't want to call it?
I'll call it. Trying to do too many things in one turn. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Yep,
yes.
that's what I screwed myself over.
And I kind of figured out like how it ends up going is that you basically only get 2, maybe 3
Yeah.
actions during the scene.
And I'm realizing that I had 3 things I wanted to do, so it didn't really
Gotcha.
work.
Where's our timer at?
You are at 4 minutes and 57 seconds.
So I will call the scene,
Okay.
trying to get the last of the information about. Yes.
Okay. So this is what do you guys think? Smarts check, guile check. It's not a muscle check, obviously. I would lean more towards. I don't know. There's no real trickery happening here.
No.
You're just giving them. I'll do a smarts check at a +1 because you did give.
So I get to add a die to that? Okay. So I get 3. And I got 3.
Oh my goodness.
2,
Okay.
because I can only count to 2.
Rolling like champs
Right.
today.
Had to happen
All
some
right.
point.
So then we go to the epilogue of what happened there.
I didn't-
Okay. So, yes, Jamie Rolinda is spearheading for the Prudence Council the closure of the dens of iniquity to get more funding for her home of wayward children. Yep.
Can I ask questions about that?
Maybe.
Okay. Would you like to know what my question
Yes.
is? My question is, would I assume a home of wayward children to mean like a workhouse?
You'll have to go and find out.
Okay.
So here's a little bit of it. Den of Iniquity has been forcibly shut down by Jamie Rolinda in the Prudence Council on the backs of her brimstone speeches. She recites them often and loudly from makeshift soapboxes from the nearest corner. Her constant barrage of shame slowed customers until they finally dwindled to a stop. Now, you guys have heard this from the rumbling of the crowd. Unfortunately, the good people of Old Smoke want their luxuries. The only way it's going to happen is if Rolinda is out of the picture. Okay, now we go to market scene. So that's a full city scene. We did the scene thing.
I did not complete this.
Did
I was
not
laying the groundwork
complete?
for it, but I did not complete it.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
scenes
okay.
always move faster than I expect them to.
I did. Give me my reward.
You did. You
So-
don't
I
get
know.
penalized.
That is your reward.
Put it like that.
Mine was
Do
the
it.
selling
Guys.
snake oil one.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to make gumdrops into that, but I didn't have time.
Okay, so
I'm
next
not
to the was it the fairy one getting a fortune?
Yes.
Put a -1 modifier.
We can't take her out. She's one of the beloved.
No, you can't just kill Jamie.
Just saying,
It's gonna be
it's
so
an
much
option.
easier.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's why they're beloved, so we can't just go around eliminating people.
In the Toodle Pip, you come back, moves forward 1. So you're now at 1 o'clock on the Toodle Pip.